And let's now talk about a story which is India's internal matter, but perhaps the US does not understand that. Amid the violence in Manipur, which first began on 3rd of May, the United States Ambassador to India, Eric Garcetti, has weighed in on the violence in Manipur. He says, and let me quote, "I don't think it's about strategic concerns, it's about human concerns. You don't have to be an Indian to care when children or individuals die in this sort of violence. We stand ready to assist in any way if asked. We know it's an Indian matter and we pray for that peace and that it may come quickly." A member from India's former ruling party leveled criticism, saying that it's strange for a diplomat to make remarks about India's internal affairs. Now, the Ministry of External Affairs has also stated that they are not sure if diplomats will comment on internal matters. In the meantime, let's also play out what the US envoy to India has to say.
When you ask, does it concern the United States, I don't think it's about strategic concerns. I think it's about human concerns. I think all of us, you don't have to be Indian to care when children or individuals die in the sort of violence that we see. And we know that peace is the precedent for so many other good things. There's been so much progress in the Northeast and in the East here. The country has done some remarkable things in recent years, and those can't continue without peace. So we stand ready, willing, able to assist in any way if asked, but we know this is an Indian matter, and we pray for that peace, that it may come quickly, because we can bring more collaboration, more projects, more investment, if that peace is in place.
But let me say that I am not seeing any, as I said, official communication in this regard. Kallol, as you said, I haven't seen those comments by the US ambassador, and if he has made them, we'll see. I haven't had a chance to see, maybe it just happened. I think, we would also, see peace there, and I think there are our agencies and our security forces are working, and our local government are working on it. I'm not sure foreign diplomats would usually comment on internal developments in India, but I wouldn't like to make a comment without seeing exactly what has been said.
So, Terry, let's talk about these anti-India separatist activities that have not just been happening in Canada. They've also happened in the US, even Australia and the UK. Now, going by what the US envoy has to say, that their assistance is a strategic concern, but is not a strategic concern, but will in fact be a human concern. How do you assess such a comment, especially when it comes to their own lack of US action with regards to these separatist activities that are being harbored in the US?
Well, I mean, we can play this blame game. I mean, and it always is played, isn't it, between states, small and large, saying, well, it's whataboutism, where you criticize my human rights. Oh, yeah, well, I'll find some horror that's going on in your turf that I can criticize you for. And the net result is nothing. Nothing changes. Nobody's human rights are protected any more than they were the day before. In the case of Khalistan, I think that the problem that we're facing is a lack of truth. It's not the governments that are driving this. We're letting Sikhs for Justice drive this. And they say, oh, Sikhs are suffering an ongoing genocide in India. I don't mind the American envoy in India saying things that are true. I do object to people saying things that are not true. I mean, the idea that the Indian High Commissioner in Australia has traveled 13,000 miles across the Pacific in order to murder Shahid Hardeep Nijjar, who actually died in a gangland shooting in Surrey, British Columbia, is absurd. The whole idea is ridiculous. I don't know why they even expect us to believe this. So we can have an endless back and forth about who's allowed to criticize who. But in my book, one of the rules of that contest is you have to tell the truth. And Sikhs for Justice is full of lies.
All right. Many thanks to you, Terry, for bringing in your precious perspective to my show. And with that, let me shift